A huge reason clients fail is that they hate your strategy. Hey everyone, this is Patrick, and welcome to Client Success Secrets. Today's episode 11. And as always, this show is especially for online entrepreneurs who take online courses but don't finish them. This is a big problem that is affecting the online industry a lot. And the other type of person that this show is meant for is those marketing experts who are teaching on marketing strategies to the masses, and they care about helping all their clients succeed. As many of you know, the client success rate in online courses is only 5%. In coaching programs can go up to 10% at best. And when it comes to entrepreneurship specifically, the failure rate of businesses within 5 years is only 10%. So with these numbers being so overwhelmingly low, we're looking at hundreds of thousands of people who fail every day. So we need to stop that. And the first step is to listen to the show. So welcome. And this is going to be divided into three sections. But before that, let me introduce. This is Patrick Heron, and I am the founder of The Brave Advantage. I'm a client success specialist, and my best positioning piece as an expert is that I have failed a lot in online courses and coaching programs. I have taken more than 12 online courses and coaching programs in the last 5 years, and I've been in all sides of the spectrum, buying courses and not finishing them, taking some action and then getting stuck and then quitting, and being a success story in a couple of programs. So I know really well the struggles of the entrepreneurial journey. And as a matter of fact, I was able to build what I call a framework of failure, which is known as the four walls theory. So if you want to know more about the four walls theory, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to make a post about it, or I will send you the specific resource when I talk about that story of how I discovered it and what it is specifically. And more importantly, what you can do to make the best out of it. So as an entrepreneur, you will better understand what the journey is like so that you won't beat yourself up or feel too disappointed every time things don't go your way. As a marketing expert, you can take this tool so that your service can improve significantly. And by improving significantly, I mean that you can double or even triple your course completion rates, including delivering better results for clients, which means that they will be able to unleash the potential of your framework and achieve what you promised them, which is the dream lifestyle, right? So let's talk about today's episode specifically. So as usual, this is divided in three sections. Section one is client success secret of the day. So a huge reason for client failure is that they hate your strategy. This can sound really hard to take, but this is what's going on. And you have no idea how big this is. Why? Because they won't tell you. Clients won't tell you until it's too late. And by too late, I mean that they've quit or that they've found another marketing guru to follow. So it's a loss for everybody. Section two is what I'm working on this week. So this show is also part of, it's about also sharing my journey with you, and my journey from going from zero to $300,000 a year as a business coach. And this week I held a few interviews with experts. So we're gonna have guest experts in the Client Success Secrets show. And as a matter of fact, the first episode is going live next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So you will not want to miss out. Ideally, I will have a guest expert every single week. So let's see where we're going with this. But so far, I interviewed two of them. Section three is comeback coaching in action. This is the time where I share a piece of my framework called comeback coaching, which is my framework for turning frustrated clients into raving fans who get results and grow a business for you. And today I'm going to talk about coaching agreements. So we can't demand commitment from our clients without telling them what those commitments are. So that's going to be the piece of my framework that you're going to learn. And this hopefully will help you set better expectations so your clients know what to expect, more importantly, know what to do and make the best out of your resources. So let's go. Let's talk about section one. So, hating your strategy. You may relate with this. Uh, Let me tell you when I learned this concept. And for some reason, I didn't fully learn it, so I failed. I made the same mistake over and over again for a few years. But this is what happens when somebody buys your program and your course. They're not only exchanging money for information, and they're not only exchanging money for support. It's way more than that. They are buying into your system with money, yes, but also emotionally speaking. So they're investing their time and money and their trust in you because they are sold on your system, mentally speaking, right? So they believe they can achieve what they want using your framework, right? And now we have the tendency as clients, and maybe even as marketing experts, we have the tendency to sort of glorify systems and say, oh, you know what, this strategy has helped me. I helped so many people, and I have no doubt that this is the best thing ever, right? There is nothing wrong with being your biggest fan, but it also puts you in a position where you're not seeing the cracks and the flaws in your framework. So, and I'm not here to tell you what those flaws are. Because the way I do things is very different to what you expect. I will not teach you marketing. If you're a marketing expert, I will not teach you marketing. I will teach you something very different. The way you set up your delivery so that it's most effective. I will not mess with your strategy because I know it took you years of trial and testing, to make it the best it could be. So back to hating the strategy, right? There are some strategies that simply don't suit the person that is trying to execute it. And I remember learning this concept for the first time many years ago when I took one of my first coaching programs. I think it was the first, in fact, and it was a 6 months program. It was called Client Attraction Mastery. The business I was working with is called Thrive Academy, and they had this amazing 6 months program called Client Attraction Mastery. And I really loved it. I was super sold on the idea. I even went to live workshops with these people. I really loved them and their work and their process. So, in the strategy was to basically use network marketing as a main strategy. It was in-person network marketing, and I was an introverted, and I still am an introverted. It's not a thing you lose over time, and I hated network marketing. I knew I had to do it, and by then I had developed myself, confident. Like I knew I could do like all sorts of things because I believed in myself, and I had, the courage to get uncomfortable and to say and do what I needed to do. So I was following these steps, and I found like that so uncomfortable, so painful, so like annoying. So I was going to networking events in person, and I would talk to people and say, "Oh, this is what I do." The whole like, this is what I do, like formula segment. I help people with this, and it was super uncomfortable, super awkward, super unnatural. Like it felt terrible, and instead of ever questioning the strategy, which is what I should have done, I was beating myself up. I said, there must be something wrong with me because I know this works. I know it's worked for so many people. And this particular company happens to have a very high client success rate. They are super transparent and specific about their numbers. And honestly, even though it was one of the first coaching programs I've ever been to, it was one of the best companies I've ever learned from. But for some reason, their system was not working for me. They go like, okay, I tried this whole 30 days thing. I made like calls on the phone. Honestly, even to this day, I'm shocked that I was doing phone calls to, get people on board, with my coaching services. And I just couldn't. Like, I tried my best, but I couldn't do it. I made maybe 5 or 6 calls. I went to 2 or 3 events, and I said, "This is not working." I was not even getting on calls. Like the whole Plan was to do networking, from networking to like connection call or meeting or whatever, and then sell the coaching package. And this was not working. Like people were not responsive. I was horribly uncomfortable. And one day I had a conversation with one of my friends. Interestingly enough, I met this friend at that on one of those workshops of Thrive Academy. And my friend, his name is Bronson. He's an amazing uh, life coach and friend. And I remember we were talking over the phone. I live in Toronto. He lived in Los Angeles, California. And we met at this workshop, which was in San Jose, California. So it was a 6 hour flight for me, or maybe more. And for him, it was just like an hour or two drive. So he lived nearby, but I didn't at all. But we got in touch. We became friends super quickly after that 3 days workshop. And then, we got on the phone and started telling him, look, this is what I'm trying to do. Like, even though I didn't have the money, I sort of came up with like $5,000 to invest in this program. And I tried everything and it didn't work. And it was super uncomfortable. And like, I didn't really think that I could make it work. So I was sort of beating myself up, blaming myself. And then my friends told me something. He said, I am sensing resistance with you and these strategies. And I said, yes, I am totally resisting the strategies because they are not me, I guess. And then, my friend, after, doing some more digging, he made me realize that maybe I needed to do something different. That specific strategy, no matter how successful it is, was not a good fit for the type of person that I am. And this is a very subtle distinction that I want you to remember, is that sometimes the client will need to become more confident in themselves. Sometimes they will have to be strong enough to put up with some pain, but some other times there will be a total lack of alignment between who that person is and what the strategy is about. So that's when it hit me. My friend, opened my eyes. I said, yes, it's true. He's right. Like, this is not for me. So that strategy not being for me doesn't mean that I'm quitting or giving up on my bigger goals, right? So I was ready to change the strategy. So then I started going online, and there is no need in going further with the story, but that is the key. I hated the strategy, and that was a reason for me to fail as a client. And this is something that I want you to reflect about when it comes to the way you use your frameworks and teach them to your clients. If you are the kind of person who knows a lot of different strategies, well, I've seen many coaches have these massive courses where they teach like 10 organic strategies. They have paid advertising, they have LinkedIn, they have everything you can think of, right? Because they are sort of good enough to at all those things for them to make it into a course. If you're that kind of coach, you will want to give people the extra support so that they are aware, first, of the kind of person that they are, and second, the best fit strategy, right? When you put those two things together, you're going to have a person whose resistance is away, and they will be able to stick to something that becomes more natural to them, right? So, because at the end of the day, you will want to enhance their strength instead of trying to save their weaknesses, right? Their strengths are their natural thing. Those are the things that they have a certain personality, certain skill set that allows them to do that more naturally. And that's exactly the place that they need to focus on, rather than saying, this is what I'm terrible at, I will get good at that. And it's so fascinating how that subtle difference makes all the difference. So, for example, when I was starting this business, the Brave Advantage, I realized that I wanted to put together everything that I learned in the last 5 years. And one of the things that I did was to always look at a strategy that was more suitable for me. For example, when it comes to my marketing, obviously marketing is a big thing. It's a huge part of this. I wanted to do things that I really enjoyed doing and that I was good at. For example, making these videos. Going live is something that's natural to me. It wasn't in the for many years, but there was something that I always liked doing. I wanted to do it because I love video and I love public speaking. And over time, I became good at it. And now I'm doing these lives, and I have no problem going live every week. It's easy for me, and it's enjoyable for me, and it's a great way, to build audience, to gain my people's attention, and over time, build that authority, right? That's the goal, really. Build that authority and trust, and that will turn into leads and sales over time. And another strategy was written content. I am very good at writing, very good at a lot of things. Not gonna lie, and I know I could sit at the computer, come up with an idea, have that inspiration, and just get to writing. I could do that a couple of times a week, and I'm doing it. It's happening every week. You'll see one or two pieces of long form content that I wrote that day. I don't write my content like in bulks. I don't like that. I'm not into that. And again, you see how the kind of person affects, right? If you're a systems person, I might be generalizing, but if you're a systems person or a tech person, somebody who is more on the like rational and structured side of things, you will probably be more effective at doing certain strategies like creating content in bulks, right? Writing your entire month's worth of content in a few days, and then posting them. Like you will give everything a date and whatever, and you will post and take care of that consistency problem that so many people have, like I do, especially in the past. Now less, a lot less. So, but I said, you know what, I write from inspiration. So, and I write well, and I'm good at writing, and I love this type of content. And I said, okay, 2 times a week, I'm gonna sit down and start writing, and that works well for me. And my last version of marketing, this is the third big piece of my strategy, which is to teach. I'm a great teacher. I am sort of teaching right now, and I just love teaching. Like it's been my natural thing since forever, way before I started online business, way before I became a life coach. And with that said, my favorite way of selling, the most suitable for me, is webinars, right? I did run a couple of free challenges before, and honestly, I love them too, even more than webinars. But I also realized that, at least this is the feedback that I've been getting lately, that I've been getting in the last several months, is that marketing experts who are at earning like multiple six figures and seven figures, which is my ideal client, is very unlikely to commit to a 5 days challenge. So I decided to do a 2 hour webinar. I call it the Client Revolution Masterclass. If you want to know more about that, please let me know in the comments. And that's it. So everything is designed for my business journey, my entrepreneurial journey, to be suitable for my skill set and passions, and more enjoyable. And it should be. I mean, why would you have to hate what you do? If you were at some point working a job that you hated, or whatever the case might be, or maybe that's your current state, your current condition, why would you hate your business? I mean, do you need double hate? Do you need so much pain? No. You gotta be smart. You gotta get creative. And as a coach, you have to stop thinking for other people. You have to give people the resources for them to make their choices. And then as you find resistance with your coaching clients or course takers, listen to them say, you know what, I can't do this. And you are going to have to be the coach. This is what being a coach means. And discern between limiting beliefs / lack of confidence and unfit strategy. That could make all the difference. And I wanted to clarify on top of this, the shame factor. The shame factor is big, because if you don't defeat this, your clients will not even be able to speak out their problem. So if you tell them, look, you needed to send uh, 10 messages per day, or I needed to make 3 posts a day on social media, to grow your audience slash selling your services. And then you go like, I don't think I can do that. Or, yeah, I did this for a while, but I got super tired and I hate it. Like, you will want to not only be open to hear that, but also encourage people. You want to encourage your clients to tell you what is going on with them, because they're going to beat themselves up. And if you don't open the conversation, how do you open the conversation? Well, in practical terms, ask, right? Always send them that email, always give them that button so that they can communicate with you. Provide those calls to actions that say, tell us about your experience. Do that on an ongoing basis. And then create an environment of free judgment. This is a big, big factor. And this creating a free judgment free environment is going to build deep trust and loyalty with your clients. So the obvious benefit, which is relevant to this conversation, is that they will open up and share with you their struggles without feeling ashamed, without feeling judged. That's the first one. That's going to really help your business grow, thrive, actually, because it's already growing. And the next thing is building that loyalty. Just by opening up, by being more empathetic with your clients than their own family are, than their best friends are, than their wives are, they will love you. They will love you for it. And I've had clients who stayed with me frustrated at the results they couldn't get sometimes, but they knew I was by their side. They knew I was supporting them every step of the way, every decision they made, and they stayed. And that loyalty is what's going to give longevity to your business. So remember, they might hate your strategy. So you will want to customize whatever you teach to fit that person. And let me tell you something more, actually. When you think long term, doing this, now listening to them, making the strategy suitable to them, is going to completely transform your business at scale. So what I mean by that, when I say at scale, I say that a lot, is that you may think that you need to do a lot of one-on-one, but you can actually end up scaling things so that people can see for themselves what they're like and what strategy or version of the strategy is most suitable for them. And if you've had a lot of clients, like a couple of hundreds, if you're making seven figures, you should have a couple of hundred clients, if not thousands of clients. If that's the case, you can start obviously observing them, asking them, but also building archetypes, which is genius. Build archetypes. What kind of clients do you have? Personality wise. What we realize, this is when you look at the data, right? This is not something that I do. I don't have too many clients. Like I don't work with too many clients. On the contrary, I do one-on-one coaching, and I'll only be working with 3 to 5 clients at the same time. But if you're a mass marketing expert, you will have hundreds or thousands of clients, and you, by analyzing their personality types and how different strategies are better suited, a better fit or worse fit for them, you will be able to build these archetypes. And that will be able to tell you things like, okay, this is an introverted person. Let's put him, giving a presentation instead of doing so many one-on-one like sales calls, for example. So I'm just throwing things off of my head, but when you look at your own data, at your own clients, and how every strategy fits a certain type of person, you will be able to build these archetypes. And once you do that, it will get a lot easier. You will be able to make decisions fast because you're developing that intuition for identifying who is who and what's best for who. And at the same time, you will be able to set up systems and automate some of those steps that basically tell your clients, if this is what you like, this is our best strategy for you. I hope you'll love this. Let's jump to section two. Actually, I hope you found that helpful, and I think I thought I feel inspired. So let's talk about section two. What I'm working on this week, and as I shared last week on episode 10, happy birthday, Client Success Secrets. Um, I am bringing experts to the show. So I'm going to be interviewing experts. And what's really cool is that I've already started. So these calls are going to be pre-recorded and they're going to go live. Tentatively, these videos will go live every Tuesday on my Facebook profile, as well as my Client Success Secrets podcast, which is now available on Spotify. I will drop all the necessary links very soon. And I already had 2 interviews with experts. I have one more lined up, and I have a couple of more candidates who are very excited about sharing their client success secrets on this show. So I am really looking forward to that. So just what I want to tell you is that there are so many people out there who are so generous and willing, to show up, to appear in your show, and just, share some of the best stuff for free with me. Obviously, I've been learning quite a few things, and with you, the audience, so you can learn more about, well, the topic never changes. So we want to make sure that more coaching clients, entrepreneurs, finish the marketing courses and coaching programs. And as a marketing expert, you'll be able to increase your client success rate, your completion rates, your average results, and the overall client retention of your business and client lifetime value, which are key metrics for profitability and longevity in your business. If you are an entrepreneur who's not a marketing expert yet, or is not going to be at all, you can make the best out of these experts to better understand what it is that you need to do to not get stuck for too long, to not give up, to not make so many mistakes that you can make. Because in this game of online entrepreneurship, the amount of possible mistakes that you're going to make, actually that you could make, is more or less infinite. I'm not joking. But when you're listening to the right advice from the right people with the heart, people with the brain, you can save yourself a lot of pain. And what do I mean by that? There's a quote that I like to say sometimes, that I say, the possible amount of mistakes you can make is infinite, or 1 million. With mentors, you reduce that possible amount of mistakes to 1,000. So just think about that for a moment. Nothing can stop failure, but you can really cut those learning curves, those inevitable mistakes, those dark holes that suck your energy, suck your time, and suck your motivation. You can avoid a lot of them by listening and implementing the right advice. Awesome. So remember, the episodes are going live. The first episode is going live next Tuesday. I interviewed an expert who is a hypnotist, who is a personal development expert, and you'll just love it. The event was already scheduled on Facebook, but you can watch it on the Client Success Secrets Show, the YouTube channel, and Client Success Secrets Show, the podcast on Spotify. Great. So let's talk about section 3, comeback coaching in action. I was trying to think about some more like client success secrets that I could share. And then I was doing some digging in my framework, and I found something odd, something that is uncommon advice. So I could tell you about how you can support your clients. I could tell you about how you can make the journey like easier to navigate, how to fill up those cracks, how to save your clients from quitting. I could, and I have, and I will continue to do it. But I also found this rare gem when it comes to client success. And I want to tell you about coaching agreements. So coaching agreements are something very powerful, because at the end of the day, the happiness of your clients comes down to one thing: managing expectations. So you may have heard from experts and even Buddhists, um, people who say that happiness is about managing expectations. So if you have a certain expectation, which is good or bad, the outcome will be different. And basically, it depends on how bad or how worse or how different that outcome is, that you're going to have that, emotional reaction, which is going to be happier or sadder. But if you expected different things, when the outcome is here, you will have a different reaction too, right? So expectations are extremely important. And in the marketing world, we will want to give clear expectations. So what do I mean by that? I could be talking about, how much you promise, if you make a bold claim, or if you use these, crazy case studies that show people making $1 million in a week. But I want to talk about something different, and that is what it is that you expect from the client. Because at the end of the day, we can just tell them that they will have everything that they need. Oh, you know what? You're gonna get the course, you're gonna get the framework, you're gonna get the software, you're gonna get email support, you're gonna get a Facebook group. Um, you can just tell them, oh, if you have trouble with this, you have this bonus, and you can just tell your people that that they're gonna have everything that they need, because that almost makes it seem that they're not going to do the work, and that's precisely one of the biggest problems here. That you're telling them that you almost make it seem too easy. It's gonna be all easy and fast, and you're not gonna have any trouble uh, doing the work and finishing the problem. However, I have a different take for that, and you know what it's like in reality. Um, People need to take action. They need to make certain commitments. They need to arrange their schedule so that your course or coaching program fits into their lives. They have to work, they have to fail, they have to learn, they have to adjust, etc., etc., etc. So, in order to make that happen very effectively, I put together a coaching agreement. So, this coaching agreement is something that your clients will review and sign. I hope it doesn't become one of those terms and conditions that I haven't read. So, here I have 10 bullets that you will find most helpful. So, my combat coaching in action tip for today is write up a coaching agreement that your clients will sign. And in that coaching agreement, you will include all the legal stuff, all the copywriting stuff, all the payment terms stuff, but you will also include these commitments. So there's going to be a section in your coaching agreement where you're going to say this: the client commits to, number one, show up to the scheduled time of the sessions. Number two, seek support as soon as the client finds themselves not hitting a goal. Number three, express concerns about reaching certain goals. So, what this means specifically is that if you are setting a goal together, the client has to say what they think is going to get in the way. You know what? The coach told me this, but I don't think I can do it. But I'm not going to say anything. Like, all that nonsense has to be avoided. And from the start, they have to know that from the start. Otherwise, you're going to waste a ton, both of you are going to waste a ton of time and energy in these little things. So, four, express concerns about a plan or strategy discussed with the coach. This has a lot to do with whether a strategy is fit or not. And let me give you another tip on top of that, which is if your client isn't sure about whether the strategy works or not, tell them to give it a shot. Some people are going to give it a shot and say, you know what, this is definitely not for me. Some other people are going to give it a shot and say, you know what, I think I can make it work, but I need more practice. That's the mindset. Mindset is not just about replacing fear with courage, as some experts say. Mindset is also these kind of things, because mindset is something much larger. It means the way you view the world, and that's something huge. You can't, reduce that to limiting beliefs or objections, right? You also have to tell them that they need to be patient for some things, that they need to try something things out even if they didn't work out, and more importantly, that no matter what the outcome is, you will be there for them. 5, speak uncomfortable topics that may be relevant to the success of the partnership. When you are expecting, when talking about uncomfortable stuff is an expectation in the coaching relationship, your clients will open up. This goes back to the judgment free environment. If they know you're not going to judge them or shame them or blame them, they will open up. They will share their problems and you will be better equipped to support them. 6, maintain open and honest communication with the coach, providing necessary information for effective coaching. This one just continues to build off of the last few items. 7, complete the coaching preparation form before each session. I know not everyone in their programs have a one-on-one coaching or group coaching, but you want to have a preparation session so that you know exactly the direction of the session. Things always could go different ways once you're inside the session, and you have to be able to adapt to that as well. But the preparation form is going to be most helpful to know exactly where your clients are at, what they're hoping to achieve, and what gets in the way. And if they have an assignment to be done, ask them to share their work so far with you in a form, right? If you know you're going to have a more like actionable meeting, make sure that the client knows all the steps and the logic of the strategy before you meet. You don't want to just, get on the group session or one-on-one session and start teaching from scratch. And then when you reach to the implementation phase, there's only 5 minutes left. So preparation form. And all of these things are also, when you think about it, all of these things are building habits for the client. They may not be fully aware of that, but they're going to still benefit big time from these practices. 8, provide feedback on the coaching process to facilitate continuous improvement. This one is very straightforward. And if anything, sometimes they hate your strategy, as I said in section 1, but sometimes they hate certain things that you do or say. If you're the kind of coach who is like more into the masculine energy, so to speak, you're gonna go like, you know what, you have to do this every single day, and then you have to schedule it, and you have to set an alarm and do it. Send 10 messages, 20 messages, one post a day. Get it done kind of guy. If you're that kind of guy, that doesn't work for everybody. I'm afraid. I wish it was that easy, honestly. I would make all of coaching a lot easier, but you will want your client to communicate that if that style of coaching is not suitable for them. This is more for one-on-one. I did, write. I did write up this agreement on the basis that it's going to be one-on-one, but you can always take it and make it yours. Add a few twists. 9, share coaching experience in the form of testimonials if said experience was satisfactory to the client. This one seems obvious, but honestly, I wanted to include it for a very important reason. I've had people work with me who never gave me their testimonial. I've done dozens of like audits, like one-on-one sessions that are audits for social media. I've done almost like 100 of those. I've done one-on-one consultations. I've done some implementation sessions. Oh, I love those sessions where we actually like take action during the call. And I asked for a testimonial a little too late. And sometimes I try to reach out the person who I gave value to. And trust me, all of them were great experiences. But sometimes we just lose track of each other and they didn't give me a testimonial. And I found that super frustrating because I didn't have the evidence or social proof that I was looking for, even though I've done the thing. So that was super frustrating, and it's sort of unfair even, to yourself. So leave that in the coaching agreement, right? They know that it's coming. It doesn't have to become another conversation where you say yes, no, maybe, publish it, don't publish it, use my name, don't use my name. Put it in the coaching agreement. 10, utilize strategies, tools, and skills acquired during the coaching relationship responsibly. That includes, but is not limited to, never using them to infringe the law and never using them to manipulate or harm others. So a lot of people will be in trouble with this coaching agreement, with this point in the coaching agreement. But trust me, I really want to make sure that the ethical aspect is also there. I don't want to find out tomorrow that I taught somebody the best strategy and they used it for evil and they caused a lot of damage to innocent people, or even if they're not innocent. Nobody should use the powers that I give, that I teach, for evil. And that's that. And I may never need this point 10. Maybe I will work with fantastic people, but I want that to be there. And also speaks well about yourself, the standards that you have. It's not all about the money and the crazy results, or this camaraderie where you are working together towards building something. There's also ethics, and this point speaks highly of you. That's a good standard to have. They will better know what kind of person you are, and probably they will take you. Certainly, they will take you more seriously. So, and that's my coaching agreement. That's just a piece of the coaching agreement. As I said, there are more things involved, but it's right there. So let me tell you a couple of things before we sign off. So first is, if you are a marketing expert and want to speak at Client Success Secrets Show, please drop a comment or send me a message. If you want to know more about the 4 Walls Theory and the Client Revolution Masterclass, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to send you the replay of that webinar. And remember, expert guests are coming, and the first show is airing next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you are following me on Facebook, I highly recommend that you do. That's where I do most things. You will see the event right there and then. So until next time, I can see what we can create together. And this is Patrick Herrera, and have a great day. Goodbye.